TwitchCon 2022, now in Amsterdam, was meant to happen in 2020, but then of course COVID happened. So the last conference was in 2019 at San Diego. I look like this compared to this. So whilst we were in Amsterdam, we did a whole bunch of things, including going to the zoo, checking out a bunch of museums. We of course had the conference itself, getting high for the first time, as well as going to a strip club for the first time. So make sure you watch the whole video and stick around to the end to check out all the juicy deets. So I had the pleasure of visiting Amsterdam with my close friends Lucifer and JaffaCreation. This wasn't my first time in Amsterdam, but it was a long time since I last went, and it looked as gorgeous as ever. I was staying with Lucifer and we stayed in this super swankin' boutique hotel where your room is essentially a morgue. You've died and you're being put away in storage, but it was actually a really nice place to stay in overall. So the very first day we landed, we went to go collect our tickets from the place TwitchCon would be happening. So we navigated through Amsterdam's very organized and yet chaotic public transport, and we finally arrived at the venue.
We're here, Lucy.
We're here.
So after a long ass queue, we finally got our tickets, which had this disgusting vomit color. We saw some weird sights on our way back to our hotels. Of course, we couldn't go back to the hotel without first of all grabbing a cold one. And Amsterdam have these really awesome walk-in refrigerators, which aren't that common in the UK, but it was really cool to see here.
Look at all the choices.
We also admired the local confectionery on offer.
Stafferton. Just looks like you're taking pills.
Of course, the trip won't be complete without visiting at least one game store and also failing to jump scare your friends.
Bruh.
We grabbed our first official restaurant bite to eat, which was delicious. It was here where we got to try bitterballen for the first time. An essential stop for Lucy whilst we were in Amsterdam was this amazing rubber duck store where there was a huge collection of a bunch of different types of rubber ducks from
Gandalf the duck, spider duck, super duck, every duck.
So after grabbing some bubble tea and checking out the saucy snacks, we headed back to the hotel and called it an evening.
Today is our first day of TwitchCon, and Jaffa's super excited, isn't he?
I'm still asleep.
And Lucy's super excited as well.
So after grabbing a smexy vegan breakfast, if you go to Amsterdam, please check out Mr. Stack's amazing vegan restaurant. We headed into the TwitchCon venue, which unfortunately had two separate queues for community members versus affiliates. Luckily, the queue wasn't even that long, and anyways, once we got inside, we got to see all of the awesome branding done by Twitch for the venue, and we headed to the opening ceremony, whilst collecting some merch along the way.
So we got a gift for being affiliates. Yay! So, yeah, Lucy, for the camera.
Afterwards, we headed to go get some merch, as you have to at every TwitchCon.
Love this hoodie, but I'm wearing it now, so that's pointless. And I love these designs, they're really nice.
We checked the main floor briefly, but we mostly checked out some of the panels that were on offer, which were super informative and entertaining. Afterwards, we hit Artist Valley, where there was a bunch of artwork being promoted by artist streamers. And finally, we ended the day by attending the first ever TwitchCon Drag Artist Show, hosted by the amazing Nikki Stones, who I had the pleasure of meeting, as well as the fantastic Donna Tart.
So it sounded like I farted, but my trousers are like tight against me and all the air in here just escaped down my leg. Do you want to see something hot?
The drag show had a variety of acts, including the amazing Aubrey Wodonga, who had incredible hula hooping skills. Marshmello, who had some incredible dancing skills. And the final act, Hungry, showed off her incredible flexibility as well as her fantastic fashion skills. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to fit all of the incredible acts there, but it was fantastic to see Twitch host its first ever drag show. Finally, we ended the day by visiting the Body Worlds Museum. Now, if you get squeamish looking at body parts, then I would skip ahead to the next section of the video on the video player or to the timestamp on screen, as this part of the video is full of real human body parts that have been donated to the museum by people who have unfortunately passed away. This also includes genitalia. The Body Museum also spoke a lot about happiness and what happiness means, how we become happy, and it was really interesting actually to see a lot of the details within the museum that spoke about what makes us happy. The museum was filled with pretty much every part of the body you can imagine, from brains to the nervous system, brain slices, skeletons, joints, not those kind of joints, the smallest bones in the body, the acyles, which are part of your ear, tiny fetuses, the digestive system, veins, arteries and capillaries, peepees, vagines, whole heads, whole bodies doing weird things, and more. It was a very surreal, strange, but educating and awesome experience.
Are you smiling for happiness, Kyle?
Yes, I'm very happy.
There were some super interesting facts in the museum as well, including the word vagina comes from the Latin root meaning sheath for sword, and how since ancient times it was believed that the male sperm was formed in the brain and flowed through the spinal cord into the penis. At the end of the museum, there was a list of the rankings for the happiest countries in the world. Can you spot the country you're from? Keep in mind that this list was from 2014 to 2016. During the evening, we went to grab some delicious food from a vegan junk food bar, which had sauces that resembled blended Smurfs and Peppa Pig if she were to be put through a juicer. On our way home, we came across some awesome artwork at storefronts, as well as cool antique stores. The canals look gorgeous at night as well. Finally, we crossed paths with the beautiful Rijksmuseum.
It's so pretty here. I love it.
Today was a great day at TwitchCon. I bought some great art from some independent artists.
Jaffa, how was your day?
My day was beautiful. I saw lots of women.
Is that it? Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Good morning, it's day 2 of TwitchCon, and yesterday we forgot to mention we bought some awesome merch. Look at this. Look at the hoodie, the swag, the fit. Lucy's always swagalicious anyway, so
after grabbing another delicious breakfast from Mr. Stacks, we headed off to TwitchCon for day 2. One of the first things we did was head to the UK meetup, where we got to meet some other awesome streamers. We also took some time to listen to a talk about cool Twitch extensions, some of which we were already using and others that were completely new to us. And after fondling around with some bulls, we headed to one of the main events for the day, the Cosplay Competition.
It took so much effort and hours cosplaying as the infamous Sylvanas from World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Please welcome Cindarius. Christ, don't worry! I'm losing.
After the judges were introduced, there was a showcase of cosplays, including the Colvey Tower Farmer set from Monster Hunter World, Urgot and Gwen from League of Legends, Tyrene Calypso from Borderlands 3, Legolas from Lord of the Rings, Suki from Avatar The Last Airbender, Ares God of War from Hades, the Elder Dragon Safi Yiva armor from Monster Hunter, Mother Miranda from Resident Evil, the Armored Titan from Attack on Titan, Mateus from Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced, Cinderella from the live-action movie, Queen of Hearts from the live-action Alice in Wonderland, Vaporeon from Pokemon as a human monk, and finally Alex Straza from World of Warcraft. It was a fantastic show, and congratulations to the winners of their respective categories. So that was the final show of TwitchCon 2022. After watching Jaffa fail a bunch at Donkey Kong and catching some party-leaving vibes, we headed out of the venue, grabbed some pizza, and got high. Lucy and I purchased a blunt and a muffin, and here's my reaction to the first bite.
apparently it's like 1 to 2 hours. This is super light, so I might not even feel anything. But I say that now, we'll see how I feel in like an hour or two. Lucy's about to hit a joint. I mean, so far it just tastes like a normal muffin. We'll see how I'm feeling in about an hour or two. It's gonna be great fun. When in Amsterdam. Good morning. So today is day 4, I think. Had the edible last night. Honestly, I can't say like how it affected me because by the time it kicked in, I was exhausted and I was asleep. But I don't know if that was because I was tired or because I ate this edible and it like knocked me out completely. And let's just say with Lucy, she felt the full effects of them herbs. So yeah. Today is museum day, so we're going to Van Gogh, MOCO, Stedelijk, Rijk.
The Van Gogh Museum was full of stuff painted by Van Gogh, of course. I don't know what else you expected me to say. Then we were about to go off to the next museum, however... Woo! You get the idea. Basically, I had the worst possible idea and decided to eat the other half of the muffin whilst being in the Van Gogh Museum on an empty stomach in the morning. This is literally the worst idea with edibles. Please eat one whilst you have a full stomach and at night like I did the night before. So after indulging in the muffin, everything hit all at once. I started freaking out thinking my heart was gonna explode, and so I had to be escorted back to the hotel where I eventually ended up getting the giggles. It also didn't help that it was 34 degrees that day, so I was essentially being doubly baked by both the weed and the sun. So after I'd been escorted to the hotel and chilled out from the giggles, I passed out for the next hour or two, unfortunately missing out on the Stedelijk Museum. Instead, Lucy and Jaffa went, and awoke ready to hop back into the museum foray. The Rijksmuseum was as gorgeous on the inside as it was on the outside, with beautiful portraits, fantastic architecture, a massive library, beautiful models, and Jesus, of course. Next, we headed to the MOCO Museum. It included an abundance of artwork, from digital art to NFTs. Afterwards, we took a relaxing cruise along the canals of Amsterdam. I was still very high at this point, and this is when the munchies hit me, so I bought a bunch of snacks and munched away. And to end the day, we headed to a gorgeous park.
You don't want our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ?
No,
Why not?
because he doesn't want me.
Okay. Morning, so yesterday I was a mess, as you can tell. Today should be a less high day. I don't know why these are being normalized everywhere. It is disturbing.
First part of the agenda for the penultimate day was to visit the zoo, and unfortunately this video has dragged on a bit, so I'm going to speed run through all of the animals that we got to see. Since Jaffa was leaving earlier than us, we gave him a heartfelt goodbye at the station.
Bye, Jaffa. Well, that didn't work out. I mean, hi again. So yeah, Jaffa didn't have a ticket. He's bye. Take two. Bye, Jaffa. Bye.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
What was your temple?
To end our last few moments in Amsterdam, we went to the Adam Lookout, one of the tallest buildings in the area.
We're going there. We're going up there.
Once inside, we found a map of
Amsterdam.
We were staying right here, behind the concert hall. And then there's Rijksmuseum. There's a zoo as well. Very cool.
the elevator ride up the Adam Lookout was really cool, but also trippy. And once we reached the peak, there were amazing views of Amsterdam skyline. Next, we headed to another place on Lucy's bucket list.
Believe it or not, we're here.
Stop.
Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum showcases hundreds of rare and unusual artifacts collected by the world-famous traveler Robert Ripley. There was a king cobra skeleton, all of the different Olympic torch designs, the longest nails in the world, a transformer, an intricate structure made out of camel bone, a cathedral made out of matchsticks, a cool optical illusion that made you look like you have no legs. There was even a chamber to test how loudly you could scream and how loud you compared to other objects. We couldn't resist giving this a test run.
It's really loud.
Go for it, we'll see how loud Lucy is. sound like you would die.
There was the heaviest man in the world who weighed nearly 635 kilograms, a really trippy space tunnel that made you feel like you were going to lose your balance, a man whose eyes were about to pop out of his head, Van Gogh made out of toothpaste, Wally, a bunch of historical jewels, the royal carriage made from cornstarch, and even more. This was a truly weird, wacky and wonderful place. Before heading to the final museum, we decided to meet up with an old friend.
It's Julian HD after 3 years, TwitchCon EU, but this time you didn't go, even though it was in your home country.
I know.
Disgrace. What are you doing? What happened, huh?
No money.
No money.
Notification.
That's
Notification
sad.
All the different condoms. It's a condom collection. It's beautiful. Never again.
So after we met with HDStreamy, we headed to the world's first museum of prostitution, the Red Light Secrets Museum. Inside the rooms of the prostitutes, you can hear their stories and learn all the dirty secrets around the red light district. The museum really wasn't that large, so it was a very quick hi and bye to Julian.
Look at this dude with his fancy rent-a-bike setup. Oh, bye.
Goodbye.
So Lucy, what did we do last night?
We went to our very first strip club.
Yes, we did. And how did you find it?
It was very entertaining. Both Carl and I got lap dances.
We did.
From a very lovely woman.
Very lovely woman. Don't know her name, but she was really lovely.
Don't know her name. She was very nice and kind, very sweet. Some lovely ladies there doing some very nice dancing.
It was super awkward at first because we just walked in and then we were both like stood in the corner because there were like no seats. But then the strippers eventually like come over to you and talk to you, and they're really, really nice. Like, it's their job obviously, but they were really nice. I would definitely go again. Maybe a male strip club, maybe a female one. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. It's just a lot of money. Like, if you got the cash to make it rain, then it's worth it. But me, I'm broke, so.
Was it enough to turn you straight, Kyle?
Oh, the question on everyone's mind. Yes, probably. It was really good, like really good. And we all know I'm straight anyways.
So to round off our trip, we visited a couple of stores, including Lush and the Lego store.
How are you finding the Lego store?
Very crowded, lots of kids.
Too many children. So we're saying goodbye from Amsterdam. We've had a great time. Thank you very much for watching. Till the next one, this is both of us signing out. Peace. Yo, what's up guys? We have just landed in San Diego.